I'm going to show you how to use the TI-30XS to do interest. And I'm going to go to the stat button, and it gives me a table with columns. First, I'm going to go ahead and enter in the years I'm working, 10, 20, and 30. So it's 5, 10, 20, 30, okay? And I am going to put a formula in. To go all the way up, you got to go over, for doing compound interest. Now, this is the formula, except you have to type it in a very certain way for it to work, all right? Now, I'm going to slide up. So my interest is $1,000 at 5% interest, and I'm going to compound it annually, okay? But I got to use this formula, all right? Since its interest is 0.05, because it has to be a decimal, number of times per year is 1, but this is the tricky part in putting it in the calculator, and I'll show you what it looks like when we go to do it, all right? So you hit stat data, and it says, what do you want to do? I want to go to a formula. I hit enter. And my formula is $1,000, right, times, I had to hit the parentheses, 1 plus, and now I got to put my interest in here, but I got to use parentheses for these, or it's just not going to work right. 0.5 divided by 1. Now, I don't really need it for the first one, but I'm putting it in there so you know this is the formula you're using. It's going to be raised up, and you have to do this in parentheses or it's not going to work, right? So the number of times is 1 time a year, and we're using this column. So you put stat L1, hit enter, and then you end your parentheses and you hit enter, and you should get all your data for the first one. So at 5 years, it's worth $1,000 will be worth $1,276.30. And obviously you see from 10, 20, 30, it goes up. So it's almost like 4 times the amount, more than 4 times the amount. So now I'm going to put the next one in, okay? How I'm going to do that is I go over to this column. I'm going to put a formula in again. So I scroll over, hit formula, hit enter. Now, this is where it gets tricky. You got to make sure you put this in exactly, right? Same amount to start with, 1,000 times, and it's the formula is 1 plus my interest, in this case, 0.05. But let's say it's semi-annual, so it's twice a year. So I put 2. I end the parentheses, I'm going to raise it up, parentheses, 2, data, L1, in parentheses, so it's 2 times this. This is according to the formula. So if you look at this formula, it's the number of times per year times the time in years. You have to do it this way or it's not going to work. And if you hit enter, boom, it goes up. So it's now like $4 more. It's going to increase each year after that, right? Now, there's only 3 columns on this calculator to be used. So to get your next set of data, you're going to have to clear, let's say I clear L3, right? Hit enter. Right? And if you want data, I'm going to clear the next one, enter. And now I'm going to do this one. I'm going to go over and do this one quarterly, is right. Let's hit clear, right? Right. I'm going to go put these in 5, 10. Just clean this all out. Start all over again. 20, 30. It didn't take much, right? And now I'm going to do this quarterly, right? So I'm going to hit formula, right? Hit enter. Same thing again. I'm starting with $1,000, and I multiply it by the formula. The formula is 1 plus, my rate's not changing in this case, 0.5, divided by, this is 4 times a year, right? And then you have to end the parentheses. Remember, you have to make sure you have both sets of parentheses. You're going to raise this up, and then it's going to be 4 times data, L1, end of parentheses, enter. Okay? And this should make sense. You can see what I'm doing. So I'm going to do the next one, data formula, right? And this one's going to be monthly, all right? So same thing, 1,000, right, times, and I'm going to say 1 plus 0.05. Oh, I forgot my parentheses. You must put that in. right? Or it's going to come out wrong. 0.05 divided by 12 and the parentheses and it again. So you make sure you have both sets of parentheses in there. It's going to be raised up to, right, parentheses 12. You could say times L1. Sometimes you just put in L1 in there. We're going to times L1 this time. And the parentheses, hit enter. And it comes up with your next one, okay? So once again, this is how you can use the multi-view to do batch calculations with compound interest.